So let me ask you guys something. Are you hungry? You're starving. You want to order some takeout, and then you order from DoorDash, right? So even though you have the comfort of knowing that you're gonna get your food coming in, now you also gotta worry about if your packages get stolen because yes, unfortunately, now it has gone to the point where even DoorDash employees is now stealing your packages. So of course I wanted to make this video to warn you guys to be careful if you do order from DoorDash because wow, those are the people you least expect to kind of do this shit. And when I found out that this was such a common thing, I felt like an idiot because I was like, okay, I should have known that that was gonna happen at some point. Because look, you come up, I'm gonna fix this camera. Okay, there we go. You know, and I don't know what the situation is with these DoorDash employees. I don't know what. Did they not get paid enough? Is there like, did they just got this weird dumb thing in their mind that they could just kind of take it, just because it's sitting right there on the porch? And it doesn't matter who you order from. I'm just saying, I'm disappointed and I'm upset. I saw this article yesterday where well, not an article. It was a news piece showing how a person, ordered some food from DoorDash, and this lady literally came up, she dropped off the food, and then on top of that, she also stole the package that was right up in the front of the porch. And I'm like, come on now, and it's bad enough that that's such a common thing, which makes no sense, And oh, by the way, before I move on, I do apologize if the video looks slightly dark. I tried to brighten up using my camera. One of the light bulbs in my room blew out, so half of my room is kind of dark. Kind of makes me worried because I don't know how I'm gonna do the toy reviews, until I get a bulb and fix it. So I just thought I'd let you guys know because I try to do these videos in the best quality I can. I hate when my videos are slightly dark. That was one of the reasons I stopped doing live videos because my laptop is just that stupid, Even if I turn up the brightness up, it won't work. Luckily on my phone, the quality is slightly better, even though the audio is a bit mixed, but it is what it is. So moving on. Yeah. So of course now look, I don't order from DoorDash, personally, but I do live in a bad neighborhood, and I do know how it's like for when you get your packages stolen, and it's not fun because it's hard. I get it. The people that do the mailing and all that, whether it's UPS or Amazon or whoever delivers your packages, FedEx, I get it. Their jobs is to drop your package off and then that's it. They're not in charge of babysitting it until it comes in, until you show up and then pick it up. Okay, I get it. Obviously that's why people always tell you, as long as you're at home and stuff, but sometimes you're not at home. Sometimes you gotta go and you gotta do stuff. You can't just sit down and wait for a package, especially if you don't know if it's gonna show up. Not to mention that even if you're keeping track of it, it's not always accurate. you know and this goes for any sort of services that you buy from, whether it's from Amazon or eBay, it doesn't matter. And it's like I remember watching that, and honestly, it's such a huge epidemic. It's like wow, they do that a lot. Do people from DoorDash, which I don't get how. I mean, it's the same thing. If you're looking on the dash cam, if you're looking on the camera of the front of your house, okay, fine, you could kind of like see them and and stuff like that, and then you could report them. And luckily, when I was watching that piece where they were talking about the lady. Luckily, yeah, she did get fired, rightfully so, because it pisses me off and it makes me very upset that you work hard, you spend a lot of money, you buy something online just for it to get stolen. And mind you, shipping and tax is not it's not, it's ridiculous, all right? Especially with Amazon. I'm talking to you, Amazon, specifically. Now I know they updated their terms where instead of spending like $25 or more to get the free shipping, now I think it's like $35 or so. I have no idea because even when I was trying to shop around and buy stuff on Amazon, I still ended up having to pay a little bit more than that, even though I do get the free shipping and all that. And of course, you gotta think about tax. Okay, fine, that's understandable. I get it, but still, that's a pain. You're spending a lot just to buy this little stuff. And mind you, I talk about action figures, so you know that that's the stupid junk that I buy. Well, what happened if you did that to someone that actually buys supplies that they need, like pens or whatever, And it's like, what the hell? Why are we still doing this? So I wanted to make this video to kind of, at least warn you guys if you do buy, from DoorDash to be careful and watch the employees because I hate that now you get people like this that are also doing some sneaky shit, and it makes me sad because I get it. Jobs like that people do need, and they're not easy either. I remember I heard this one story about this guy. He used to be a drug addict. He used to be like into crack, right? He wanted to turn his life around, and he was doing good, and he was sober. So he got a job at, I think it was either Grubhub or DoorDash, something like that, some sort of food service the guy was working for. He delivered the food, everything was great, he was gonna move on. All of a sudden, now his job was on the line because this dumbass, some person said that the food never came, even though that wasn't true. And of course, that's a scam that customers do to get free food so that they don't got to pay and they get reimbursed, they get their money back, and then it's the employee that gets fired. And it's like, wow. So from this one little thing, you could get pretty much kicked out right away. And I'm like, wow. And then I remember the guy, he even went to the workplace of the employee. He was like, oh, why you tell him I never delivered the food when I obviously did, you know? So it's like, yikes. So I feel for the employees, especially with Uber too, where Uber is crazy expensive if you need to travel around, you know, especially if you need to get around places. And it's even worse when you work because now you gotta waste money, you know, especially if you don't work that many days or so. So I'm 50-50, okay? I get it. People need to have jobs like this, but then people that also do shit like this, like steal your packages, that does not help, like, at all, you know? Now, obviously, you can't just wag a finger and be like, please don't do it, you know, don't do it. No, they're gonna do it, you know? And it's like half the time, I always wonder if, even if we're not talking about the whole DoorDash or Grubhub thing where it's the employees start stealing the packages, imagine just random people in general just stealing your stuff, you know? And it's like, even if you manage to get caught, if they do get caught and they get arrested, do you even get the item back? I doubt it. Because what's the point of stealing the stuff to begin with? Why? So you can resell it online? What if you buy something that's a tiny little piece of shit? Then you come on now. You basically committed a crime for no reason. It's ridiculous, you know? And it's the same thing. I hate that you always gotta like be on the lookout too because you either live in a sketchy neighborhood or you get people like this that just steal your package just because they can, you know? And it's like, okay, that's one of the reasons why I thankfully don't live in an apartment complex because obviously the way that works is that they drop your packages off and all that, and they just kind of put it in those little lobbies. So you never really know exactly when you're gonna get your stuff. And mind you, sometimes when you get like the notifications and stuff, either they tell you that it's delivered like way too late, or it's like if you're lucky they might tell you that it's on the way. It has happened to me a couple of times with eBay where I will buy something, it comes into my mail, and then I don't get the notification until like an hour later telling me that it showed up at my house. And I'm like, why? You know? So stuff's not easy. You know, I don't really know where else to really go with this. I just wanted to kind of give you guys this warning because now you really, really, really gotta watch out and be careful, you know? And I guess the last thing I want to say too is, you know, let me tell you a little bit of a quick story that's a little bit unrelated, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway because it has to do with money. I did talk about it on this channel, but this was like very early when I had barely any subs. Which, by the way, we're almost to 1,000, so cross your fingers there, you know, because that's pretty good. We're very close. Anyway, I remember I bought a Predator figure, you know, from the Predator movie, you know, the ultimate jungle predator. It's like it looks so cool, you know, and I think I paid like $40 or more for it, you know. And when it finally came in, it was a bootleg. It was like pieces were falling off. He got like two left hands. It was bad, you know. And I'm like, why did I get a bootleg when the person's description said that he's from New York? I go on it, and then it turns out it was a dirty little trick. The guy was actually from China, and he actually has Chinese bootleg toys. And I even saw it in one of the reviews. The figure that I bought had a negative review where the guy said that it was he got a bootleg Predator figure. I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do now? You know? So your first initial thought is to, you know, hey, be straight with the person and be like, hey, why did you give me a bootleg product? You know? I mean, it was a weird thing for me to do because I knew that this wasn't going to end well. Of course, I wasn't going to get my money back. What did the person tell me? Send it back. How do I know if they're going to give me my money back? How do you know? It's like, you know, you could, I get it. You could go to like corporate and all that with eBay and stuff, but it's not that easy. You know, with eBay, it's a little bit more complicated. Where with Amazon, they probably do have resources for that and stuff like that does happen. But I don't know how that's like because I'm more of an eBay shopper than an Amazon shopper. You know, as you know, you could kind of see from the stuff I buy. A lot of the figures I buy, which range from like old Ultra, you know, like Ultraman figures or like old Marvel Legends figures, I get most of those from eBay. You don't really see most of that stuff on Amazon, you know. So with eBay, obviously it's more easier to kind of like, when you buy stuff and all that. It's not like such a huge headache with like Amazon where they gotta give you choices and all that from your shipping and all that, and it's like with your payment, and it's like that's ridiculous. eBay is much more easier, but damn, I hate that I got tricked like this. So when they tell you to send it back, first of all, that also costs money to send it back because sometimes if you're lucky, when the sellers when they when your package gets delivered, sometimes they might have a little sticker. I don't know if I know there's a particular name for it, where if you need to send it back for whatever reason, you could just kind of slap it on and then boom, you're okay. You could just go to the post office and all that. But because I didn't have that, of course, if I send it back, I'm gonna have to pay who knows how much. Maybe it's less, maybe it's a lot. I don't know. I don't want to take that chance because in the end, I basically lost $40, which yeah, not great. Eventually I did bought another one, but still, that just shows you that, as an example, even though it's kind of a dumb, weak example, it's not fun to buy stuff online just for it to kind of get stolen. And if you buy action figures, that's even worse because sometimes they'll put the figures in like in these big ginormous boxes, and like they are huge, but they're only huge just to kind of add padding in the inside so that the item inside don't get damaged. It's not like if you buy like a used toy, they could just kind of wrap it up in a thing and they kind of. I bought a couple of Ninja Turtles, like old used classic turtle figures. And I used to have them like that, and that was a relief because at least they can actually put it in the mailbox instead of just kind of leaving it out on the front porch. You know what I mean? So it's like, guys, we gotta be really, really careful. I wanted to warn you guys to be careful if you use Grubhub or DoorDash, whatever. Be very careful. Be very mindful of the person who's delivering your food. Make sure you don't got freaking packages in front of your porch, as much of a pain in the ass that is. And even if you have cameras, I mean, yeah, that's good, but at the same time, who knows, if they're, what's gonna happen to the package? It'll just disappear out of nowhere. It'll be like you waste money for nothing. That's upsetting. That's ridiculous. So that's about it. I just wanted to kind of put this video out. Uh, yeah, this doesn't need to go as long as it did, so I'm very sorry. So tomorrow I'm hoping that I'll be able to put out the Ultraman Jack toy review. Only because even though I pre-recorded the Ninja Turtle toy reviews, I didn't pre-record the Ultraman ones yet. So hopefully I'll get the situation with my room because the brightness obviously it's not great. Maybe I'll still be able to record, but who knows. But that review is still coming. Also, I do want to, of course, thank the people that's been subscribing to the channel. It's been a lot of increase in a lot of stuff. So I'm very happy about that we're finally starting to build up a little bit more. So let's hope that we can reach 1,000. That'll be great. And of course I'll still be doing the same thing, and I'll hopefully I have everything at a nice set time too, so that's great. So every week there's at least a toy review, if there's no problems. So of course that's about it. So thank you guys for joining in. Be careful, and that's about it. See ya.